Right, let's get some reaction then on the State of the Nation address by our President Cyril Ramaphosa. We chat to Professor Mazwe Majola from the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development. Always a pleasure to see you. Prof, thank you as always for agreeing to speak to us here on SA Today.
Thank you very much, and good day to you.
Yeah. The President covered a lot of topical issues last night that South Africans have been raising this last year, if I can say. What's your view of the State of the Nation address? Was it comprehensive enough in your view? What do you believe to have been the sort of highlights or the lowlights of the speech last night?
Well, I like the fact that he gave a report on what he promised and he elaborated on what they've done as government. And also, I like the way that the priorities that he just gave, 4 priorities for the next year. Not this shopping list, the long list. At least you know that the government will focus and they will concentrate on these four pillars that he gave. Unfortunately, Florence, we are in a crisis. And we are living in uncertainty and unpredictability or unpredictable and volatile times. We don't know what's going to happen in next month or in 2 months' time. So we need a leadership that is very adaptable and flexible and agile. I like the metaphor he used of the tree, the fynbos tree, using its resilience and adaptability. How I so wish that our president would emulate that fynbos tree when it comes to his own leadership style, because he uses one and the same leadership style. He's not adaptable enough, and rigidity and intractability are the greatest enemy of effective leadership. We cannot have a president who always or only uses consultative leadership and democratic leadership. We need a president who will adapt, use different styles, use different leadership qualities, especially in terms of the crisis.
Then I would ask you if you agree then with some of the reaction we've received here on SABC News from some of the opposition political parties who've described the speech as some saying bland, some saying ordinary. Was there perhaps a need from the president's side to play it safe? I mean, you talk about consultative leadership. Is that not what he's supposed to be doing? I mean, one would not want to be in a position perhaps that he was last year, where perhaps there might have been over-promising and that couldn't really be delivered, given that we were then faced with a pandemic which nobody was expecting. So perhaps it was kind of a cautious approach to the State of the Nation address this time around. I mean, does that mean that you agree with opposition who've then described the speech as having been too bland or ordinary?
It's always best to be to under promise and over deliver, rather than to come and gloat and big things and just for the sake of rhetoric and say all sorts of things. At the end of the day, you don't deliver. I think it's better to play safe, but to go there and deliver more. So that when you come back to report, you can say, we said this, but over and above of what we said, we've also did this. And even people will be, obviously, will see what has happened. So, I mean, for me, I like the way he played safe. And I'm obviously with a view and with an understanding that they will go far in terms of delivering. You know, unfortunately, the president must make sure, especially during this time, that he is surrounded by competent people. He needs competent people during this time. people will not going to make mistakes. People who know their stuff. And they need commitment. People who are committed at political level and also the officials. You need officials who are competent, who are committed, courageous people. People will take risk. And also people with character. So you need integrity. That is what will destroy and totally obliterate the corruption that we have.
Yeah. South Africa has been criticized for its lack of capacity in terms of, implementing policies. And maybe this then speaks to why there's this mistrust of the government. I was speaking to two professors from the University of Stellenbosch this week, and they used the phrase of a deficit, a trust deficit within the South African population, and I wonder if that is linked to the fact that there hasn't been, much of implementing of policies and things that have been promised. And then we look at the issue of job creation, which is really a big issue. People losing jobs, people being retrenched, and so forth. And I wonder how do we know that all of this is not just talk, but will actually be action at the end of the day? Because we can talk about the speech as much as we want, but at the end of the day, I think what we're all looking for is really a delivery, or really implementing the policies and promises.
Well, at a level of coronavirus, which is the first pillar, that he mentioned, obviously we'd like to see the implementation there of the vaccine rollout within a week. In the next few weeks, we want to see things happening there. They must not just talk, but they must implement. And the mistake that has happened must be minimized or even eradicated. That's why I say we need competence there. You cannot have the officials who can't even detect the expiring date on the vaccine that were delivered. So such little things are very, very important, because they can cost the nation not only money but lives. So you've got to have very good people there. That is why I'm saying the president must start. We've always been saying this, that he must start to be decisive, and if he has to fire people, people must be fired. If he has to remove people from certain jobs and from certain positions, he must do that. Unfortunately, he's got this soft and Mr. Pleasing approach from his leadership, which unfortunately doesn't help him, because at the end of the day, whatever happens, it will have a huge impact on his leadership as a leader of the country.
All right, Prof, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for giving us your time, Professor Mazwe Majola. Many thanks to you.